DORK Podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the DORK Podcast. Ryan Davey. It's the DORK Podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Vern Von Vern. He is promo code Ron Von Don, Ron Von D. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
And again, I'm good, but not to get into, we are all Vern.
I think so.
Today. Yeah.
That's going to have to be discussed a little bit because as a kid, it was a little confusing. And as an
super
adult,
confusing as a 5-year-old. Yeah.
Still weird, if nothing else. But Ryan, that's all for the topic du jour. We have a lot more to get to. But first of all, we are, less than 2 weeks till Christmas. Are you ready?
Nope.
No.
Are you ready?
Not fully prepared, but I could probably get by right now.
Yeah. So we're in the same boat. Like we are in the position where like we've done enough.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is gravy.
Not to put you on the spot, excuse me. I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. You did a Christmas Eve stream.
I did.
Building stuff. And I think it got a lot of positive feedback and a lot of people were in the same boat as you. Do you have any plans or appetite to do the same?
Nothing to build this year. Thank God.
Oh, really?
Nothing to build. Nope.
Shit, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it. So Katie's just been like ordering stuff, and so we just take it and we put it all in the spare room. So we just have boxes and boxes. I don't even know what some of that is. I'm like, eventually we're gonna have to have an unboxing of stuff that we like forgot that we got, only to then wrap it again.
Yeah.
Or build it or whatever.
It was this weird we were in this weird position this year where our kids asked for like incredibly practical things.
Wow, what happened to them?
I don't know, but they were like, we want workbooks, like grade appropriate workbooks, pajamas, and like socks. We're like, what?
You're like, well, yeah, you'll get those things.
You're gonna get those. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, don't ask Santa for those. Like, your grandparents will get you those.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I feel like because then you get the other kids on the other side. They're like, well, I really want like an iWatch and like a fucking like all this shit that's like costs thousands of dollars. You're like, well, what? Not getting any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, good luck to everybody out there, and we're almost there. We are inching closer. But Ryan, we have a lot to cover today, including a new game I'm excited about. I don't know if it's a game as a segment. It's a segment, a game. I'll run it by you. I haven't even told you what it is.
Okay, you haven't even told me about this.
But it's all part of the news.
This week in DORK. Yeah.
It was like a day or two after we did our episode last week that Kevin Feige in a discussion said that if Daredevil is in the MCU, it will be Charlie Cox. Like,
yeah, and I think we know that.
And
like,
I'm hopefully going to see him this Saturday because that's when I have tickets to see Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'm Friday morning.
Ooh.
So my winter break officially starts Friday, and I can't wait.
No.
I can't wait because I have like a hockey tournament this week, so Friday, Saturday night, and then we have a family Christmas party Sunday, so I wouldn't be able to see it.
Oh shit!
And I can't wait until Monday. I cannot stay off the internet until Monday. So Friday at 10:30 a.m.
Oh, that's awesome. Here's my big concern. The whatever they call it. What do they say when you can't, the embargo?
The embargo, yeah.
I think lifts Tuesday. So I'm like,
Tuesday. Okay, yeah.
So like tomorrow. Like we're recording on a Monday. Right. So tomorrow, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, today. So I'm afraid if I go on Twitter, especially on the Dork Podcast account, it's just gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe Doctor Strange was Mephisto. I'm like, damn.
No, I'm just gonna look at raw data here, and I'm not going to look at any spoilers. I can't.
Are you going to look for the Rotten Tomatoes?
Or I might just see this. I just want to I don't believe much of that, but it just gives me kind of like a sense. You know what I mean? And I put in
Spidey sense.
Yeah, and I put more stock in the audience than I do in the critics early
on. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know how I feel because to me, at least, there's enough examples on both sides. There's been like 99, 100% movies that I have not liked. And then there's also been like 59, 60% movies that I have liked.
Yeah.
So I could go either way on that. But I don't want to know goddamn thing. I'm going to try to make it all the way to Saturday afternoon, not knowing a thing. So we'll see how that goes. Speaking of Marvel, we got episode 4 of Hawkeye. This show continues to be pretty damn solid.
Good cameo.
Yep. Good cameo.
Solid cameo.
Solid cameo. Waiting for that one.
Waiting for that. We knew that was coming.
And hopefully more in episode 5.
Mm-hmm.
There should be. And by the way,
should be a lot. And apparently there's this is the rumblings on the internet is that it's a 6-episode thing, right?
Yes.
And everyone I've read has said episode 5 is the best.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that comes out this Wednesday.
Right.
So, man, what a week for Marvel then. Holy macarons.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. And by the way, Hawkeye in glorious surround sound says pretty solid down here in the Dragon's Lair.
Is it now?
Cock rocked and later rock, thanks to the SVS speakers I got recommended by the DJ from the Brightside Home Theater. Fantastic. Lighting the world on fire. And that's what I figured. It's not just movies. It's going to be the Book of Boba Fett is going to crank in here. And Hawkeye's cranking right now. So, doing pretty good. Oh, you know what else is going to crank this week?
What's going to crank?
MacGruber.
MacGruber's going to crank.
Out this Thursday on Peacock. Are you excited for that?
I'm very excited for that.
MacGruber! He has a drink or two each night, but it doesn't affect his job. MacGruber! That guy's a social drinker! MacGruber!
So that's another upcoming standalone episode. These things are just really, I feel like we're busier now than we've been in a long time as far as like what we got going on.
We didn't talk about, how did you feel about his other R&R?
What do you mean?
So he, in the trailer, when he's talking about like, it's about time to get some R&R, and Vicky St. Elmo's like, oh, I could use some rest and relaxation. And he's like, the other R&R, ramming and rimming.
I forgot about that. That was a great line.
Ramming and rimming.
So
ramming and rimming? I think it was definitely ramming.
I think it was definitely rimming. So ramming and rimming. And he dropped like one F-bomb in there too. So I think at least it makes you feel like it's going to be an R-rated show.
Yes.
I mean, ramming and rimming. I don't think they're you're not seeing that on Disney Plus.
You are not.
I can't wait for that.
The other R&R.
Right, new to Netflix this week. A couple of Netflix items here. Have you guys seen this? Heard about this? It's a streaming service.
Yeah, I heard about it.
They released a movie this week. I think it was in theaters for like 2 weeks or whatever, and then they put it on Netflix. It's called The Unforgivable. And I'll tell you what, right now, having a cast that good and a movie that bad, unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
Did you watch it?
I did not.
I did.
I looked at I watched the trailer and I was like, I want no part of this.
It had Sandy Bullock, John Bernthal, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Viola Davis. Punisher, Kingpin, the angry lady from Civil War, and Sandy Bullock. The lady driving the bus in Speed.
And Bird Box.
And from the girl from Bird Box. Oh, it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked.
I watched the trailer
so
and I'm like, I want nothing to do with this. Nothing.
I don't know why I watched it. I don't. The other thing I watched, so I would recommend that to no one. The other thing I watched on Netflix, Tiger King, the Doc Antle story.
I breezed through this.
Oh,
that was a lot. That was a lot to take in.
This is, for those who don't know, 3 episodes. So even shorter than Tiger King season 2 or Tiger King 2. 3 episodes, all about 40 or 45 minutes long, all about Doc Antle. Davey and I talked about this last week, how he was a pretty prominent player in season 1, was not referenced in like season 2, and we're like, oh, I wonder what happened there. Like, nope, there's enough shit on his own to cover.
There's like, no, we left him out of 2 because there's like 3 hours of footage just for him. And it was not complimentary.
Hard to rank them. But if you had Joe Exotic, Doc Antle, Jeff Lowe, and what was the guy? Was it Tim? What's the guy with the monkey?
Stark.
Tim Stark. Who's the worst guy?
The worst guy?
Yeah. Oh, no. And Carol Baskin. Who's the worst person?
The worst person is probably Doc Antle.
Seems like it. If everything is true, if what's
confirmed.
Yeah, I guess it has been, but he's like, no, he's not in jail or anything.
No, because like, again, I mean, it's the world we live in, but I was curious to see they're still posting from their social media pages.
Really?
Yeah. So like the
Ah,
Tigers thing in Myrtle Beach, like that's still open.
I don't know, man.
But like, how do you?
All right, if you had to work for now, then you
Mhm,
are you're a grown man.
mhm.
If you had to work for Joe Exotic or Carol Baskin or Doc Antle, how would you how would you rank the
Well,
three?
I would have to say Joe Exotic because I can't work in Florida heat and I can't work in like Myrtle Beach. Like I can't.
No, and Carol Baskin, it seems like
Didn't
nobody
pay anybody.
didn't pay anybody, didn't pay anybody.
Yeah.
Doc Antle's shit is just so messed up. And if you're a woman, God bless you. Like you
Mhm.
just get out of there. And if you're a man, well, there's also something going on. Joe Exotic, as bad as it is, and you're eating the week's old meat. Fuck,
But you get
I don't know.
paid. And then if you work for Jeff Lowe, I mean you're getting who knows? You're probably
What,
getting screwed.
what a disaster.
Oh, he goes, I love in Tiger King too. He goes, if you buy what is he doing? If you buy liquidated stuff from me, don't be mad when the stuff you get is liquidated. It's like,
Yeah,
what does that mean?
I didn't really get it. So basically, you buy junk, and then you don't like. What do you do with the junk?
Yeah, it's like you buy
Fuck.
liquidated merchandise from me. Don't be surprised when it's liquidated. Like that's not what that word means.
What a
Liquidated, yeah.
what a world though. And like the one thing that you find is like all these guys, like all these people, like deserve each other. Like
Oh, they absolutely do, and they
all
all
do.
deserve whatever bad is coming to them. They deserve it.
Oh,
Ugh.
oh my god. So anyway, that's on Netflix. You can check it out. All right, Ryan, because it is the Christmas season, Christmas music has been on a lot, right? You
Sure.
hear Christmas music everywhere you go. And one of my favorites is from Thurl Ravenscroft. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Yes.
I thought we would rip through some of these, just the lyrics. And I want you to say, if somebody called you this or insulted you this way, how much would it sting you? How much
Okay.
would it razz you? How much would you feel bad about
Because
it?
there were
All
a
right?
lot of insults, and again, there's these
Ton.
memes that have been going around that like the Grinch never hated Christmas, he just hated people, and I get that.
That's fair.
I get it. Yeah.
I get it. I get it as well. All right. So I don't know if you want to do like on a scale of 1 to 6, how much it zings you, because a lot of these aren't used often either. These are not oft used insults. So
Yeah.
right away, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You're a mean one, whatever. Not
That's
fine.
subjective. Like whatever, man. Yeah.
You really are a heel.
I am a heel.
Good wrestling term.
Yeah, you're
as
not telling me anything I don't know. So that's
if you
fine.
watch if you're watching on the YouTube stream, you can see Davey's nameplate says Adar Von D, not Adam Cole.
Not Adam Cole. I'm sorry.
Adam Cole, good heel.
Yeah.
Or how about this one? You're as cuddly as a cactus.
Good. Don't touch me. Don't come anywhere near me.
Oh, that's true. Personal space.
Yep.
That speaks to the personal space. Charming as an eel.
I think I mean
Hmm.
that
It
doesn't
is.
sting. That doesn't sting me at all. One.
It's the snake of the sea, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It's snakes out there this big.
Well, all right. How about this, Ryan? You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
I don't like. Nobody likes those. That would sting a little bit because nobody likes the bad banana.
Out of the first verse, that's probably the worst thing to be called. And good layer of detail there with the greasy black peel. You're a monster.
Yeah.
You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole.
No, it isn't. Like that's a lie. That doesn't hurt me at all. Like that's a lie. You don't know me. You don't know me.
What about if I told you your brain's full of spiders?
It is. My brain is constantly on fire with spiders.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
You've got garlic in your soul.
Yeah, I do. Like, please don't hurt it. Like, there's a couple coming that are like, oh, come on now.
That got
But,
you. The garlic in your soul line makes me feel like you're confirmed not a Dracula.
I'm not a Dracula.
You're not a Dracula.
I like flavor in my food.
I do too. And it's actually really good at like keeping you healthy.
Sure is.
Garlic
Especially
keeps away the illness.
Yeah.
Now this one, I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.
Okay. That's a little hurtful. We're getting more there.
And oddly specific.
Which is what I remember referring to people on a level of how much we found them attractive. And I remember somebody saying once to me, I wouldn't do, there was like 3 of us. There's like 4 of us. So he's looking at 3 of us and he goes, I wouldn't do that with your dick, you pushing, and you taking the blame for it.
That's terrible.
And I was like, that's pretty bad.
Okay.
But yeah,
that one hurts.
which is the 39.5-foot pole, like always reminds me of that line.
That's a good line.
Yeah.
That's a good line. All right. You have termites in your smile.
Means I have like wooden teeth. Is like a bad, that might make me self-conscious because then you're like, I got bad teeth.
Yeah, that's scary. You're like, oh,
you don't want to be the guy with like the bad teeth. Like that's like Steve Buscemi has made a career of having bad teeth, but
yeah, because you can have bad teeth and then you can just have like just
oof.
yellow teeth. That's tough. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile.
Crocodiles don't live in the sea, so that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, that one doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
You're a nasty, wasty skunk.
See, that would get me.
Oh, what?
Because he called me like, you fucking skunk.
You fucking skunk. I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking kill you.
You fucking skunk.
You fucking skunk. How about your heart is full of unwashed socks?
That would just make me laugh.
The heart line.
Yeah.
Unwashed socks is brutal.
That's
Sticky socks.
Literally.
Your soul's full of gunk.
Gunk's a good word, though. I don't use the word gunk enough. That's a good word.
Gunk. The 3 words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote: stink, stank, stunk.
So not only do I currently stink,
right.
I've also stunk in the past. In the pluperfect sense. I have stunk and have continued to stink. In the imperfect sense, like have stunk and continued to stink to this day.
Any of these little fuckers ever pop out of the fucking wall and say, fuck, there's a horse cock in my room or a donkey dick?
You're a rotter. R-O-T-T-E-R. You're a rotter.
We're all rotting in the Sylvia Plath. We're all dying.
Well,
yeah.
You're the king of sinful sots.
Yeah, I am.
That doesn't hurt too bad.
No.
Back to the heart line. Your heart's a dead tomato splotched with moldy purple spots.
That stinks. I don't like that.
That's very specific.
Don't swear. Oh my God. What game show have you ever seen that had swearing in it?
Okay, so it's a lot of heart and soul shots. So your soul is an appalling dump heap overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable, mangled up in tangled up knots.
See, this is one that would hurt me.
Yeah.
More than the others, because that depth, someone has practiced this before.
It's a good line.
Has been trying to say this to me or just waiting for the opportunity to say this to me for years. That's a shower fight name.
Oh,
that's like you've had that shower fight with somebody before.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing right now? Cooking up all these lines. You nauseate me. That one stings.
I don't like that.
That one's pretty good. You're a crooked, jerky jockey, and you drive a crooked hoss.
They're gonna make fun of my hoss?
Bojack. No.
You don't bring the hoss into this. Don't bring the pork chop express into this.
You're a 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce.
You're a shark sandwich.
Yeah, well, mom called. I think that's a good line. That's a good walk-off line there for the Grinch.
And Brad says in the chat, the king of sinful sots has to be a great black metal band.
Oh,
it absolutely does.
Oh my God, good call.
The king of sinful sots. I love that.
They're definitely like the first stage at some metal fest. All right, you know what that means, right? It's time for Should I Have Bought This? And it's brought to you by 47 Brand. Go to 47brand.com and enter the promo code #DORK at checkout for 20% off your entire order, including the hat I'm wearing, the hat Davey's wearing. They got shirts, sweatshirts, you name it over at 47 Brand. And #DORK at checkout, 20% off your entire order. I don't know what the shipping rates are, or not rates, but times are right now, but might as well jump on there.
Could be running out of time, but they are a local company, and the shipping is like bang, bang.
I was gonna say it's normally super quick, but I don't want to make any false promises. But go check it out if not. Ryan, this one comes in You can email us, of course, dorkpodcast@gmail.com. Your submissions for Should I Have Bought This. This one comes in from Douglas, and I'm going to pull it up here on the old stream.
Okay.
All right, don't say anything just yet. I will read to you the description for the listener. Hey, fellas. So I bought a Hush exclusive Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gi. It is number 32 of 300, as seen on the second photo. Notice I put the arrow there for the second photo on the tag of the carrying bag. The first photo is from the website, and I blacked out, I guess read it out, the price. It was a sale price. So there's the real price and the sale price on there. He obviously bought it for the sale price of redacted, marked down from redacted. The other pictures are of the top one with the inner lining exposed.
Ooh.
And finally, just the pants. Makes me think I'm back in the pants.
In the pants.
Considering Hush was the #1 Batman comic book choice on #Dork. That's right. When Shime and the guys from TLDR, Dr. Joe and Fryer joined us, that was voted #1 Batman book, Hush. He goes, I'm hoping it's a good contender. Thanks, Douglas. Now, again, it is a Batman Hush inspired BJJ gi.
Now you have to be pretty into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Can I tell you my best gi story?
Yeah.
So back in college, I had a roommate who was like really into kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he and I were of the same build.
Mhm.
And this is like kind of when people started doing this recreationally.
Yeah.
Around the aughts. So
Mhm.
he would take me to these classes with him, and one of them I had to rent a gi. He's like, "We're gonna do gi. It's gonna be different because usually you wear like the rash guard and the shorts and like whatever, and you just kind of roll around." And he's like, "We're gonna try gi," and I'm like, "All right." I'm just gonna sweat through this thing. Like I feel bad because they're super, super heavy cotton.
Mhm.
And I got choked out with my own gi. I
With
got
your
knocked
own
out
gi.
with my own gi.
That
I
can
didn't
happen.
know what I was doing. I just knew.
That can happen.
Yeah. So the guy took the lapels of the gi, a Brazilian guy, and like crossed his hands like an X, like around my neck, and choked me out with my own shirt.
So I'm going to assume Douglas can beat the shit out of me.
Okay. So that's why we take that into account.
I don't know that to be 100% fact, but I'm just going to assume it. Also, at this point in my life, I think most people probably can.
Yes.
But I feel like Douglas buying a Hush gi probably could. Would you like to guess at how much it costs? And again, to qualify for Should I Have Bought This, it needs to be more than $25.
So for me, this is always a crapshoot because gis to me could go from anywhere between like $40 and like $500. Like this is an odd.
It is in between those two.
It is in between those two. I'm gonna go somewhat in the middle, and I'm gonna say like $200 for this.
Okay, it was marked down from $199.99.
I'm right around it.
You were right. You nailed it. That was, and Douglas got it for $129.99 out the door.
If you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu more than one time a week, this is a fucking steal. I would do.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's pretty good. I mean, again, if you do jiu-jitsu enough to warrant having your own gi, that's a sick gi. We didn't really talk about it. It actually looks really cool. Like
It
all
looks
black.
good.
It's black on black. Like all the embroidery and stuff is also black. So it's like black on black. You can see like the Batman batarang like in the inside, like the lining of it was actually, it's got to be DC what do you call it? Like official.
so.
It's got to be a DC official because
I
you
know.
can't use that.
And only 300 were ever made, apparently.
So especially, I mean, that's sick.
bad.
You and only 300 people in the world have that, and you do.
Now, people in the chat did not enjoy it as much as we did, but again, that's how you play the game. Should I have bought this? We're gonna say yes.
Yes.
Should
And
have.
be careful because you can get choked out with your own shirt wearing a gi.
It's happened. It's happened to at least one of
to
us.
me.
It's happened to at least
One of the handful of times I've actually been knocked out. So that was one of them with my own shirt.
Brian, it was a learning experience.
It certainly was. I had no idea you could even do that.
And when somebody told me a week later, I said, wow, game changer.
It's time for Davey's video game minute, even if it takes more than a minute.
All right, Ryan, what do you have?
Well, what I have right now is always this portion of the program brought to you by our wonderful friends at Wild Bill Soda. Go to drinkwildbills.com. Use the promo code Ron Von D. And again, like 47, you will get 20% off your final bill there. And again, super great about shipping. This might be the last time I say this where you can get it in time for the holiday season. So they make a great gift. I just got a bunch of coffee from them too that I haven't tried yet, but I'm dying to try.
Oh yeah, I'm curious. Let me know how the coffee is.
I'm gonna let you know how the coffee is. So I have just quick video game news. We had our first professional Halo cheater get caught. One of the pros playing in several tournaments.
Was it?
Not. So this guy who's a pro, he's one of the best Halo players in the world, got caught. Now tell me if you think this is cheating. So he went. This is a setting you can choose. He's in Seattle. He's based in Seattle. So he monkeyed with the settings so that every server that you could play him on was in Seattle. So remember, like ping or like
I remember Bing.
No. Like when you lag. Like, so basically the way lag, it's like ping. It's like how many milliseconds it takes for your computer to actually respond to like buttons, like keystrokes. So he ensured that he would have the lowest amount of ping every time someone played him.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is cheating.
It's cheating, but it's like,
yeah, I know. But
it's like a fraction of a second, which again, in the professional level, that means everything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he did get
got
plugged for that. So in that news, especially professional gaming, I just read today that Robert Kraft is looking to do a Call of Duty team.
Is he really?
Boston-based, yes. So they're looking to buy. It would be the 12th team in the professional Call of Duty league was going to be owned by the Crafts.
Pretty
cool. It's
cool.
going to be a Boston-based team. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
Again, any way we can get involved in that area, we will do it at the drop of a hat. Like, absolutely.
We're in.
I tried the new Call of Duty map, the Pacific, the new Warzone map.
What do you think?
It's all right.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that you have to use all the old guns, like the Vanguard guns. Like, I'm kind of over that. The old World War II guns.
Yeah, I know.
Give me some cool like rail guns, like some real super soldier shit.
Fucking Tommy gun.
I
like
you
that
get one.
gun.
It's like, yeah,
I like it. You know it's like that gun.
Yeah, you can actually get that gun in this game. Halo has playlists coming. So SWAT is coming. We'd mentioned that, but they've officially announced it that all these different playlists, including SWAT, including I forget the other ones, but those are coming. I'm trying to get through this quickly. New PlayStation 5 official skins. You can put skins on them now, make them look a little bit different. So that's
okay. Cool. All right.
There was a free mini like Matrix game for Xbox One and PlayStation 5, showcasing the Unreal 5 engine. It's actually pretty fun, and the graphics and the gameplay are dope.
Okay.
Like they did this thing where Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss are in it. And they did this thing, and it happened a couple times where I had to double take to see if I was looking at a video game person or the real person.
Sick.
It was actually pretty.
Yeah.
Like they do this whole they talk about the Matrix and all this stuff, and so that's coming out soon too. So I'm excited to see that movie as well. And the new GTA expansion pack will be featuring Dr. Dre. So it takes place after the events of Grand Theft Auto 5. You play as Franklin, so it's like an older Franklin.
Okay.
He's like an up and comer and like starting his own business and like kind of doing like a Ray Donovan thing where he's like helping celebrities take care of their stuff. And one of them is Dr. Dre. So Dr. Dre and Anderson .Paak are actually in the game.
Cool.
One of the things that intrigues me is they're expanding the radio stations as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
So new songs on the radio station. So I might jump in, just try that out a little bit. But that's the Video Game Minute, brought to you always by our friends at Wild Bill Soda. Go to drinkwildbills.com. Use the promo code RONMOND.
Question in the chat before we move on to the topic du jour. What games are you currently playing right now?
I am currently playing right now. I am playing NHL 22. I am playing. I just finished. So I finished Guardians of the Galaxy. I finished Far Cry 6. I got Guilty Gear on sale, which is a fighting game, which I'm in love with that game right now. It's awesome. That's about it. I'm playing Riders Republic any chance I can do. Just if I have some just quick hitters if I need some time to just do something quick. That's what I do. So
very good. Very good.
There we go.
Y'all ready for biz?
Ryan, ready for the topic du jour?
What's that, Vern?
I'm glad you asked. Oh, you might have nailed it this week.
Yeah.
It's the topic of the day. And today it is the cinematic classic Ernest Saves Christmas. Came out in 1988. It is 1 hour and 26 minutes long. A Rotten Tomatoes score of 36% of the critics, 42% by the audience. We begin as we do with all of our movie and TV reviews, spoiler free. Ryan, did you like it?
I kind of did. Like, I think this held up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm
okay with this.
Yeah, for what it obviously the Christmas season, the Christmas spirit, if you will, movies. I think specifically that. I think that's probably the best term for it. Not just like a Christmas movie, but like the Christmas spirit movie. Like with Santa Claus as a character. I don't know. Pretty good.
But they add, I'll get into it. And is this all? Oh, yeah. So we'll get into spoilers. But there's a mechanic. There's a mechanic that they use in this movie that they've used in movies since that I thought was pretty genius.
Okay.
We'll get, that's called a big market tease. Once we get out of commercial break and into the spoilers, we'll.
Correct. Correct. And we're actually going commercial free episode.
There's no commercials?
How am
I getting paid for this?
We're going all the way through. You're not.
Fuck.
You're not.
I knew it.
But Ryan, you're on YouTube. You're on Apple Podcasts.
An internet celebrity.
You're on the internet.
Yeah.
Can't hide you from there.
So are we viral yet?
I think we went viral.
We went viral?
I think we're currently doing a viral video.
Oh, so that's what that is?
This is what it is.
All right. Is that like the one like the Bozo?
Did the dub
Bozo video I saw? Yeah.
He did the dub.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So Jim Varney, pick of the pod.
Yes.
He, of course, was Ernest. And do you think he gets enough credit? We scratched the surface of this topic a while ago as sort of a one-off. But I think for what he did, the number of movies he was in where he was the character, and for the character that he played, late 80s, early to mid 90s, I feel like he unfortunately is a forgotten character.
He is, and there's all these urban myths about Jim Varney that I started after I watched this. I went in and looked at Jim Varney. Like, I knew he died of lung cancer, and I knew he was like a big smoker, and like he did anti-smoking PSAs at the end of his life after he was diagnosed with lung cancer.
Smoked like a chimney, apparently.
But just like, I don't know. One of the fascinating things about Ernest is you can't really explain it to anybody.
No.
Why it works. It's like, there's this guy and he's kind of dumb, but he's actually like really smart.
No, anybody younger than us, it's just something that they missed. It's not like, I feel like it didn't get carried down. Like it didn't hold up. Like you have to be in a certain age range to remember and respect and love Jim Varney / Ernest.
Because the character of Ernest like goes in and out. He goes in and out of voices like Robin Williams kind of.
Yeah.
At one point he's John Wayne, and the next point he's like this Shakespearean actor, and then he's Ernest, and then he's doing something else. It's super weird.
I honestly watching it again, and at the time not realizing it because he also predates it, but I was getting so many Jim Carrey parallels.
There's a lot of Jim Carrey, a lot of Robin Williams, like that style, like way overacting. Like that Jim Carrey had to have taken some of that from it. Yeah.
Ernest P. Worrell and brought some of that to, especially like the Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber and like The Mask. It's very earnest,
and it's just like some of the faces, like when when Ace Ventura does like the like laugh. That's an Ernest. That's a Jim Varney laugh. It has to be.
Varney's doing that 100%. If they remade the Ernest movies, or even another way of putting it, if they came out with ones like this and they wanted to cast somebody, who now do you think could carry that? Like
Jim Carrey.
Who would they try to do?
That's it. Jim Carrey. That's it. That's the perfect person to do it.
I feel like he's got to be younger though to sort of like go with it, because Jim Carrey I think is too serious now. He wouldn't want to do these.
And he would be Jim Varney for like the next 3 years or something.
He would start smoking.
He would start smoking. He would he'd start with double denim, everything.
Do you think Timothy Chalamet could do it? No. Do you think Will Forte could do it?
I don't think he has like that rubber face that Jim Varney has. I don't think that was such a unique watching his facial expressions. Like that was to me was the best part of the movie.
What about Andy Samberg? No, probably not.
No.
I'm wondering if it was like an SNL person or like or something. I don't know.
Maybe Mooney? Like
Kyle Mooney could do it.
Oh yeah, he could do it.
Kyle Mooney might be able to do it. So he was in Rami Malek.
Bill Hader would actually be good. Bill Hader
might be, yeah, Bill Hader probably could do it. So this was the second in the long line. Of course, he debuted. He was in a movie before this, but it was Ernest Goes to Camp,
which I loved that movie as a kid.
Still probably the best one. That came out in 87. Ernest Saves Christmas in 88. Ernest Goes to Jail in 90. Ernest Scared Stupid in 91. Ernest Rides Again in 93. Those were all theatrical releases. Then there was 4 direct-to-video Ernests. Ernest Goes to School, Slam Dunk Ernest, Ernest Goes to Africa, Ernest in the Army. Christ on a kayak. You didn't need those last 3.
You did not. You did not need Ernest Goes to Africa.
Something
tells me that would be problematic.
I don't think that I don't think I've seen that one.
So I've seen
all the ones that were in theaters. I don't think I've seen the other 4.
The only one I think I started or like 94. I think my mom.
Oh, Ernest Goes to School.
Ernest Goes to School. Like I think I saw that one, or I definitely like parts of that one. I remember something like him holding like a enormous pencil at some point.
Yeah, that came out the same year as Billy Madison. So I'm curious what came out first.
Yeah. So, but I definitely saw Ernest Goes to Camp. Definitely saw Saves Christmas. Saw Goes to Jail. Saw Scared Stupid.
Scared Stupid wasn't bad. It's a good.
I don't know if I saw Ernest Rides Again.
Dude, Slam Dunk Ernest. I feel like it's a big risk to not have Ernest as the first word in the title.
It's the same exact script as The Air Up There.
Is it really?
No.
No, it's Air Bud Golden Receiver.
It's Ernest Goes to Africa to recruit a 7-footer.
I feel like Ernest, you know what? Did I think Ernest Goes to Africa? So we got to check this because Ernest Goes to School, I'm pretty sure came out the same year as Billy Madison, and Ernest Goes to Africa came out the same year as Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. That'd be bad. Yeah.
There's too many parallels there.
There's a lot going on. Then he goes to the Army, like fucking Pauly Shore.
I would not put him in the Army.
I wouldn't either. Although he's good. And I say this not as an insult. There is a Jar Jar Binks quality about Ernest.
Well, like, I'm looking at the trailer for a clip of Ernest Goes to Africa, and there is blackface. So I was right.
Oh my God.
We are, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Not
we
great.
Have
not great.
Off the podcast. The podcast is over.
Yeah. Nope.
That's so by Ernest?
Yes. He's got a turban on. He's doing blackface.
Fuck. I really wish we didn't stumble upon that.
Oh, man.
I have a clip from Slam Dunk Ernest. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
This is Dr. Love, and we'll have the tip-off right after. Brief message from Elton John's Auto Repair.
He's walking into a gymnasium. He's wearing number 0.
Of course he is.
Now,
Huddle
watch that big cornbread fed looking brother over there setting picks. Now, when that happens, TJ, you switch with me.
Barry.
Not now, Ernest. Walter. Look, you can't muscle that big ugly forward, man.
Ernest trying to get in the game. They're not listening to him.
And Willie, you got to hit the 3 tonight. If I believe I can achieve.
Barry.
Not now, Ernest, because that'll free up Tommy T in the lane. All right, now, if you can't hit it, I'll hit the 3. I'll be there, all right?
Barry.
What, Ernest?
I made lemonade for the whole team with real lemons. It's not the mix, not the powder. It's the real stuff. See, it's still got lemon peel floating in it.
Okay. Thanks, Ernest. Everybody in here. All right.
All right, I'm not going to listen to any more of that. But
Is that it?
No, there's more. There's a lot more. He made him real lemonade. There's
Making lemonade. Yeah.
No mix. Well, this is taking a real turn. I was not aware of
Jim Varney blackface. He did not do it in Ernest Saves Christmas.
what the fuck, man.
What? I didn't do it. We didn't make the movie. I didn't see. Have you seen Ernest Goes to Africa?
No.
I just said there was blackface. I don't think it's right. Why are
It's
we
not.
Why are we in trouble?
It's clearly not.
I didn't do shit.
You fucking shit.
I didn't do fucking shit. I don't know what to tell you, bud.
What to tell you, bud? I am fucking. That is not ideal, Ernest.
Not ideal.
Fucking A, man. Would you say this is a top 10 Christmas movie?
No, absolutely not. Oh, it's not even a top 10 Ernest movie. No, it is. It is. It is one of the better.
It's I would say it's definitely better than one of them. Jesus Christ.
I don't care about it.
So a couple of the cast notes. The girl who played Pamela,
Yes.
her name in real life is Noelle Parker, and she was born on Christmas Day.
How about that?
How do you like that?
How
She
about
also, Ryan, here's a
yeah.
trivia question for you. There were not one, not two, but 3 TV movies about Amy Fisher. You remember Amy Fisher?
I do.
She had an affair with Joey Buttafuoco, and
Sure did.
then she shot Joey Buttafuoco's wife. She was 17 at the time. He was much older.
She lived.
She shot the wife,
But the
and
wife lived.
the wife lived. We shot her like in the face.
Yep.
And lived. She went to jail for a while. Did Amy Fisher? She then, I think, is in porno. She came out.
I think she
in-
did, yeah. I
in
think
a-
both
no,
of them did. I think Joey
Joey
Buttafuoco
Buttafuoco's-
had a stint in the adult arena as well.
Oof, man. Anyway, 3 Amy Fisher TV films. I already told you one. Noelle Parker, who was in this movie, she played Amy Fisher in one of them. The other 2, much more famous actresses. Who were they?
Wasn't like Sarah Jessica Parker one of them?
No.
Someone like that. I don't know. I forget.
You don't want to take a guess.
That was my guess.
Oh,
give me
no,
a hint.
no.
Okay. One of them was actually, they were both probably considered child stars at one point, and then they were both very famous. They're still famous to this day.
I knew, so I Googled it, and that was going to be my next guess. I
You
promise you this is
Googled
going to be
it?
the next guess.
The fuck? I have the
Because I have no idea.
answers.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Right.
And I wanted it, but the person who I don't know the third,
Okay.
but the second one was going to be my next guess, and that was Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore is correct. Is one
And
of them.
I don't know the other one.
Alyssa Milano.
Fuck, I should.
So
Like that,
it's perfect. Like it was like 92, 93. They all came out.
and she has Noelle. Parker has a very. It's if you ordered Alyssa Milano on Wish, you would get Noelle Parker to your house.
Yep. There's definitely some overlap there.
Yeah.
The other 2 characters that are in a lot of the Ernest movies, Chuck and Bobby, who are the 2 guys in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Would you describe them, yes or no, as poor men's Penn and Teller?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Bobby he's the guy who's like no teeth. Like those are fake teeth, but you can tell he has like no teeth. And he doesn't really say anything. He just kind of does this, like he like looks around like
He talks he has more lines than Teller, but not many.
yes. Those guys. And did you know, so the guy who plays Santa Claus prior to his death was also the voice of the Sultan in Aladdin.
Oh.
The whole time I heard him talking, like his voice sounds familiar.
Oh, that's pretty good.
He's the Sultan in Aladdin.
Well, speaking of voices, Jim Varney, of course, was Slinky Dog in Toy Story and Toy Story 2.
I think that was his last thing that he did.
Probably. Yeah, he died in 2000, so it was probably right around there.
Yeah.
What is your hashtag dork score for Ernest Saves Christmas?
Ernest Saves Christmas is a nostalgia boosted 3.
I'm going 5.5. No,
It's Member Berries 3. It's a passable Ernest movie. It's not camp. It's not scared stupid. I would say is better than this as well.
Oh, yeah, Scared Stupid might be better. I'm gonna go 3 as well. Like, it's still fun. It's Ernest. We both have a soft spot for Ernest in there. There's a couple of chuckles, couple of good lines in there. He's like a character, and he's good on screen. So I enjoy it. I'll go with a 3.
Spoilers! 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 Here come the spoilers!
All right, spoilers for those of you who have not seen it. By the way, it's streaming on Disney Plus, so that's another reason why it was very easy to rewatch this. So it's less than an hour and 30 minutes, and yet the movie starts with a 2-minute, completely unnecessary opening credits with like no characters, no nothing, just like a song and just like nonsense for 2 solid minutes.
It has to be something that like the Norman Rockwell paintings that they used became like public domain. So let's just use them because it's just a Norman Rockwell painting of Santa over and over and over again, played over like some shit music.
Yeah, right.
Like busting out of shit wood.
We're just filming bodies, man.
I don't know what to tell you, bud.
I don't got no souls. So Santa Claus flies into Orlando,
as one does,
and it's the classic. He's Santa. Nobody believes that he's Santa. We are introduced, Ryan, to Ernest P. Whirl. He's a cab driver. He's singing "Oh Christmas Tree," but in only
no other words.
Oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree. I don't know if you noticed, what number was his cab?
I was going to mention this too, and I was like, look, this is a kid's movie, man. We're working blue. You're going to drive a cab that's clearly 69. That was done intentionally.
69
absolutely intentional.
Everywhere. I was like, man, Jim Varney a freak. My man, Jim Varney freak.
Don't get me started with that, because someone gets some wool at the end of this movie, and it ain't Ernest.
It ain't Ernest. It ain't Big Ern. That's for sure. Yeah, they're laying that out a little bit thick as well.
Yeah.
So Santa Claus then gets into the cab with Ernest, and because he's trying to replace himself. He's trying to get a new Santa Claus.
So this is what I was talking about. So this to me was pretty creative, and the reason I gave it a 3, because the idea that like there have been multiple Santa Clauses.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you just kind of like phase out, but you have to find somebody to replace you, which
Yes.
they stole in was it the Santa Claus?
Yeah.
So like that.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
No, you're right. It is a good idea. One thing that bugs me is in these movies, because obviously Santa Claus exists, and then you get to these adults that like don't believe him, and you're like, hey, dickhead, who else is leaving you presents?
Right.
Like there's a disconnect there, because like they're playing to the same tropes of like young kids believe and adults don't believe, but then again, he does exist. He's there. We know who he is.
And
so how would they not believe in him?
Because I wonder if because he talks about Ernest, and he says, I stopped keeping track of him when he was 11. So I wonder if like if you believe in Santa, then he comes, but if you don't, you're off his list completely. Because he mentions that like I knew, like I followed him around until he was 11, and then I lost track of him. So I wonder if it's like,
maybe there's a cutoff. Maybe there is some sort of a cutoff. So Santa can't pay his fare, but he does offer him these bullshit Mr. Funtime bucks, which you
get
can't
blips
buy.
and shits.
You can't buy anything with those.
Yeah,
they're
he's got Dave and Buster. He's got a Dave and Buster's power card.
Those are Patty's bucks. You're gonna want to hang on to those. So again, Ernest is so there's like a couple things going on, and Santa's looking. He thinks he's identified who he's gonna be replaced by, this guy named Joe. Meanwhile, Ernest gets a tree. And he also stumbles upon Pamela at this time too. Pamela's sort of like a bad egg. And by the way, they become like best friends and just like always together. Immediately. That was a little strange. And just was like in his car and like hanging out with him.
Girl just hanging out with Ernest, like in his truck, like
no problem.
Going a little Doc Antle here.
A little, and I watched them back to back, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Dealing with like runaways and
worlds are colliding.
Yeah,
it was very strange. But then he's like, we need holiday cheer, and I'm like, God, I hear you,
elf.
And he's like, we're gonna go grab a tree. So he gets a tree, brings it home to Vern. This is where I need some explanation.
I need a lot of. So this is one of those things that if you explain this Ernest to somebody who had never seen an Ernest movie before, they'd be like, hang on. So they break from the plot of the movie to go POV shots of Ernest talking to camera.
Right.
To somebody named Vern.
Do you think there would be Deadpool if it wasn't for the Ernest movies?
Breaking the fourth wall is definitely a choice that
It's an Ernest thing. Ernest did it 30 years before Deadpool did.
And there was a whole I know on Amazon Prime, there's a whole collection of commercials, like Ernest commercials that you can watch.
Yes.
And one of the things I read about Jim Varney is like he had like a photographic memory. So he would look at a script and just swap out products. Like he would just keep going and they would just like throw in products and he would do a commercial about a product and they'd throw him another one. So he would film like 20 commercials in a day.
You know what I mean? Hey, Vern. So so he's like, I don't know if Vern's gonna like this. And then so he brings the tree in, and then he's like wrestling with Vern at one point. Then he's just like ripping up the whole house. Like,
that was odd to me. So like that's not how you plug in a Christmas tree.
No, he's pulling the cords like through the wall. I don't know.
This isn't the beach, it's a bathtub.
But we're Vern.
I think the audience is Vern. We're all, and again, as we said at the top, we are all Vern.
We're all Vern. It is odd. It is odd. So Santa Claus gets arrested. He then is fingerprinted, and he has snowflakes on all of his
which honestly was the only thing about this movie that I remembered.
Really?
Prior to I remember there's a scene where they like fingerprint. Like prior to watching it again, I'm like, I remember there's a scene that like, oh, you thought I just knew that? Like,
yeah.
Oh, they're gonna fingerprint him. It's gonna be snowflakes. No, for whatever reason, I remember watching this movie. Like, I think there's a scene where they like fingerprint Santa and it's snowflakes.
Yeah. It sure was. And then
did you notice too? But in the cab, and this struck me as very odd. In the '69 cab,
yes,
when Santa is like looking like Ernest passes him the 3D glasses as like sunglasses.
Yeah.
The bumper sticker inside the glove compartment said like "Keep the Christ in Christmas," which was put there intentionally.
Yeah.
Was put on camera, and someone was like,
"Need it."
Yeah.
Need it in there. That's a win.
Yeah.
So then this also begins. At this point, Ernest has talked to the camera. He's done like his little like voices and his little like he changes his voice, but he doesn't change character.
Right.
This is the first of what ends up being about 5 different characters that he plays. He goes in to break out Santa Claus. So he and Pamela both change their appearance, change their voices, and go in
a matter
there
of seconds.
And very easily get Santa Claus out of jail.
Not only that, the captain of the police take a stranger who has not shown you any credentials,
none,
and a teenage girl, into a jail cell.
All the way in a jam-packed jail cell.
Yep.
They let them talk to everybody in there and then physically remove one of the inmates and take them outside and drive away.
And just leave.
Yep. That's it.
Like, I'm like, wait, are they opening the door? Like, how are they going to do this?
So then they're looking for Joe, and Ernest plays an old lady, and I'll tell you, amazing.
That I think the old lady stole the show.
The old lady
playing the agent's mother or something.
Yeah, with the neck brace and the whole.
I'm telling you, this guy's face is what makes this movie, and that's why he's got like those like Sam Raimi zoom ins on his face because his face is the whole movie.
He's got a rubber face.
Yep.
Yeah, it's incredible. The old lady
doing the thing with the snake guy with the teeth. He's doing that thing with his teeth.
That's another one. I couldn't even handle the snake guy. That's a part I remember vividly as a kid, where the snakes are like all in his face and everything.
Yeah, but they were like so fake.
So
you could see like the putty like on his face. Oh, so bad.
So
this
then
movie was made with a shoestring budget.
It was. And speaking of movies, there's a movie within the movie, Ryan. And so Joe, who again Santa wants to be the next Santa, he's also an actor, and he gets cast in a horror movie called Christmas Sleigh. So the fucking Bill Goldberg movie, Santa's Sleigh, comes out a few years later, also stolen from this movie.
This movie a lot of said a lot of things here. Set a lot of things up for a lot of people.
You don't have, let's face it, Deadpool. You don't have Santa's Sleigh. You don't have the Santa Claus.
Right.
You don't have
Elf.
Any Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah. The idea that Christmas depends on like Santa's magic.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of slipping.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then also in this, Pamela decides to steal the actual sack the Santa's sack that has magic, and the whole time the old lady who works at the children's museum or the children's center
Who plays like everyone's grandmother in the 80s.
in every movie.
I think her name's Billy Bird. I think is
How
her name.
many times do you think she asked Santa about his sack?
A lot. And there was a scene with them at the end when he takes his old identity back.
Yeah.
And she asked him if he's doing anything tonight, and he's like, I don't know. Like, no, I don't have any plans. And she's like, we'll think of something.
Yeah,
like Santa's getting some strange.
He was absolutely going to tame some strange. There's no doubt about it. And you don't mean Santa, you mean Seth Applegate.
Seth Applegate was going to make thick and warm.
Oh yeah, for sure. There was a bonus cut. This wasn't in the Disney Plus version, but if you have the Blu-ray of Ernest Saves Christmas, which I do, the very ending scene is Seth Applegate and the old lady. Oh, fuck me.
Oh my God, I'm gonna freaking explode inside you. I'm gonna spill it. I'm gonna fill you up. Oh.
I'm gonna fill you up. What? I'm gonna fill you up.
Okay, just let me do the talking. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. I'm gonna do it. Oh. 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 Oh, 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 oh,
And for a Christmas movie, way ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time. And the precursor to Bad Santa at that point.
You don't have Bad Santa without her.
And, what's great is, Santa, after 150 years of being Santa or something like that, finally gets some R&R.
Oh, yeah. Ramming and rimming. The movie actually ends, Ryan, with the guys in the warehouse, those guys up their hijinks the whole movie, and then a box that says E-Bunny.
F-Bunny.
E-Bunny. There's a fight.
There's a fight. Is it an E? Is it an F?
But they never went there. Instead, the next movie, coincidentally, was Ernest Goes to Jail in the sequence of movies.
As he did for,
What is the most memorable part to you? And I guess you already maybe answered it with the fingerprints, because you remembered that.
I remembered that. And I also remembered, him fucking up Vern's house. He's like, Vern throws the best party. There's nobody there.
That was super memorable. It was so weird, and it was like a tree, and like the way the camera was shot, and the way he was ripping out all the stuff.
But this movie is how long? It's
an hour,
tight hour and 26 minutes, and that's 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, makes no sense.
And what also was weird is how they kept jumping back and forth to like these. So they would was it like the two guys in the warehouse, and then they would jump to Joe and his agent, and then they would jump to Ernest, and then they would jump to Santa. It was always like moving around. It was very disjointed. And it was jarring at times. And
it was
one of the things that I remember, what's his name? Joe's agent.
Yeah.
Oddly cockeyed. And it was very upsetting to see at times.
He's
got one eye looking at Joe and one eye looking straight at the camera. At times. Like, it's just, I get it. If it's a thing that you deal with and you're like, I once had a math teacher.
Yeah.
In my freshman year of high school, who would tell us, he would point and go, this one, look at this one.
Jesus Christ, really?
He was at like 45-degree angles, so he would look at you with like one eye.
Man.
And he would tell you, because you'd be like,
you're like trying
to get into his field of vision. I know this is bad radio, but if you're trying to like get into his field of vision, like moving your head, and he would just go, this one, and point at his eye, like, look at this one.
Right.
Mr. Regis. I'll never forget that. I'll
Like,
never forget it.
Hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
When you're right, you're right. I definitely remember the whole bit with Vern, and I remember the characters that he played. Like I remember the old lady, and I remember like the snake charmer, and I remember like the little sleazeball guy,
and like the businessman that he does. Yeah,
I remember all that stuff, and like so pretty good.
The old lady was great. The tucking his neck into like the neck brace.
Funny.
Yeah,
classic. Anything else Ernest Saves Christmas related?
No, just fucking watch it.
Come on.
It's fine. If you got an hour and 20, you know what? I want to show my kids this and see what they think.
Oh, that'd be an interesting report back.
I'll report back. I'll update this next week when it's like, how did the 7 and 5-year-old find Ernest?
So my guess is this. from the little I know of your young ladies, the 7-year-old will be like, "This is dumb," and leave, and the 5-year-old will love it.
She has actively started trolling my wife. Like she knows stuff that annoys her now, and will.
Yeah. That's my son. That's my son.
So she has this thing now. She's like, "Right, mom? Right, mom?" Like she asks like all the time. And then my Rye said something, and she goes, "You're right, mom. You're right." Right? Like she's like actively trolling my wife.
You're like, all right, stop.
She's like, all right, she's like, no, right, mommy? You're right, mommy. Right, mommy?
Yeah, that'd be.
She's like, get out of the room. My wife gave her the finger behind her back. True story.
But listen, the key is repetition, and if she keeps hammering that home, it's gonna be funny. Like
you tell me the first time you give your own kid the finger, because that happened tonight.
I have not resorted to that yet. All I know is, and I don't know if people love kid stories, but too bad it's our podcast.
It's our podcast. Fuck you. We're gonna talk about it.
So Cece is almost 2.5.
Yep.
She fucking loves Christmas like I do, and Christmas lights. And so I have all these lights in here. I have like a little tree and stuff. And as soon as I plug it in, she goes, "Christmas!" and puts her hand up in the air, jumps up and down, and just gets so fucking fired up. And just wants, anytime you plug lights in anywhere in the house, it's Christmas, and then she wants you to dance. And it's my favorite thing. So I'm like, that's how I feel inside.
And one of the things you're starting to learn too is when the kids get excited, like you get excited about it again, which is awesome. Like Christmas is going to be fun again.
I've always been excited for Christmas, Ryan. Not a problem on my end. I love the smell of the trees. I love the eggnog.
Yeah, I just got my tree tonight. I know it's a little late, but
what
tree's
the
here.
fuck? The 13th?
Yeah, man. Good deal on it too. Good 7-footer. You know,
I thought you had tree people. I thought you had multiple trees.
So the problem is my sister and her wife just had a baby, so they can't make the trip from Williston to Deerfield, Mass, all the way here with a newborn in the car. It's a long day.
That is fair.
And I don't have the time to go to Deerfield to get it myself. So
all right. Yeah. Well, enjoy the 2 weeks you have of your tree. I'll say. We got a little guy. We got a little guy on the deck upstairs, and then I got the little guy down here. We got a nice bitch upstairs. It looks good. So
yeah, man,
that's us.
Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb.
All right, Ryan, would you like to kick, receive, defer, or you may also choose at this time to defend a goal?
I will defer to you.
All right, I will receive then. You're not gonna.
I'm waiting. Every time I defer, I want you to tell me that you're going to kick.
Send it right back.
Yeah.
I don't want to never get the ball. So I have 3 quick ones. One, we talked about, I think maybe ever so briefly. I forget if this was on the air or off the air, but I started finally the Always Sunny podcast with those 3 guys. I'm only like 3 or 4 episodes in. There's a bunch more, but those guys are just fucking great. And they're quick episodes. They're like 30-minute episodes. And it's just Glenn Howerton, Rob McElhaney, and Charlie Day just going through the seasons. And it's funny to listen to them talk about the first season and just being like, I wouldn't say embarrassed by it, but they're like, there's some good here. And they're just like, oh my God, like it's hard to watch for
like
them.
we didn't know. They didn't know what to do with the character of Dee until she like acted drunk, and they're like, we need to do more of this.
Yeah.
There was one episode I was listening to recently where it was the gun episode, like gun fever
or whatever. Or yeah.
And it was the first time that they shot in Gugino's. And did you hear that one?
No, not yet. I'm only like 3 in.
It's relevant to the podcast because Glenn Howerton was talking about, as he was writing that, he was thinking of the actress Carla Gugino. So that episode that they keep going back to is named after Carla Gugino.
Oh God, and we love
friend of the podcast,
best friend of the podcast.
Yep,
so that's pretty good. I also, because of that last Monday night, the Pats Bills game was so windy. I tweeted out the best wind movies, and then I rewatched Wind River because it's on Netflix right now.
Fucking love that movie.
I had that going with the surround sound. That movie's so good. My one issue, it's not even an issue because the movie's great.
I fast forward through one scene. That's it.
Okay.
That's my issue with the movie.
So this isn't even an issue. And I guess if you probably really go through every movie, it's kind of like this. But so again, for people who've seen Wind River, I mean, the movie's been out for 5 years. So this
we can
like a
spoil
spoiler.
it,
But they obviously it's in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming. And when they're trying to figure out there's a dead body, they're like, who could it be? And they suggest 2 people. They're like, well, there's this group over here, and then there's this group over here. And then you immediately find out that the one group wasn't it. And then so it was obviously the other group.
Right. Like it wasn't.
was.
And I think that's part of the appeal of the movie is that they say
Pretty simple.
no, they say in the movie there's like 4 cops for like 500 square miles.
Yeah, they says the size that where the 4 to 6 cops, I forget which number is. Their jurisdiction is like the size of Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they can't. So, but the scene with John Bernthal and the girl in the trailer,
Yeah,
when the shit goes down, I don't like that. I don't
terrible.
like watching it. Yeah.
Oh, it's a hard
It's
watch.
raw.
Yeah.
It's a hard watch. But Renner and Elizabeth Olsen are so good. So
you
good.
got Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, and Punisher all in there.
Yeah, and they're all awesome. They're all on their game.
God. Great, and that's like Taylor Sheridan now. Like he started out kind of like undefeated. Now I don't think he is, but he's still like a more good stuff than
People
bad.
have been raving about, was it the mayor, not mayor of Easttown, but like the mayor of something. The one, it's like a Taylor Sheridan show that's on Paramount Plus. It's like the only streaming service I don't have. But people have been raving. So it's a family that runs like a private prison.
Yeah, let me look what that is.
And it's got Coach Taylor, Jeremy
Mayor
Renner.
of Kingstown. Yeah, it's eerily similar to Mayor of Easttown. Mayor of Kingstown.
Mayor of Kingstown.
Mayor. Like, I'm going to run for mayor.
Yeah.
Mayor Quimby.
Right.
But his movies real quick. So he wrote Sicario, but didn't direct it. But Sicario's awesome. He wrote Hell or High
Denis
Water.
Villeneuve directed that. How about that tag team? That movie does not get enough credit for the pedigree there.
I agree. Sicario's awesome. Hell or High Water, also awesome.
Fucking awesome. Yeah.
Wind River, awesome, which he wrote and directed. Then he wrote the second Sicario movie, not as good.
No.
He wrote Without Remorse, the Michael B. Jordan movie, not good.
Not good. Was that the
It's the Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy one? He wrote that?
Yeah, he was the writer on the movie. He co-wrote it with somebody. It's, to me, like, I have it probably higher than I should just because I like Michael B. Jordan, but it was not great. And then he also did the Those Who Wish Me Dead with Angelina Jolie this year. He wrote and directed that. Not great.
It was all right.
But,
yeah.
Oh, and then my last thing is Succession. Wrapped up season 3 last night.
You were all aflutter about this last night.
Yeah, this show's great. And so we're going to try to schedule a dink tomorrow with Woody and Shark, 2 guys that have done episodes before. They're both in on Succession. And season 3 finale was last night. It's one of the better HBO shows.
I gotta find some time. I gotta find some time. Be over Christmas break, and I'll like actually.
Yeah, it's a good one to dive into. So we'll try to do a dink. We'll tweet time and everything else, and we'll probably stream it live like we normally do, or like we do here on the YouTube. So there you go. There's 3 picks of the pod. What do you got?
So I have. So we talk about the Always Sunny podcast, but the show itself is now 4 episodes. They did 2 episodes and then 2 episodes. So there's actually 4 episodes out right now, and they're all like they still have their fastball, man. Like they're still good.
Funny.
Like these, And there's one where they flash back to where they're all like Charlie's working in a roller rink.
That was a good episode.
And then Dee gets replaced by a monkey.
The monkey one was pretty funny. And then Mac was wearing the starter jacket, the Hornet starter jacket.
And he's like, "You're in Philly," and he's like, "Yeah, but these are the coolest colors." I remember like seeing people in Charlotte Hornets, Grandmama, Alonzo Mourning being like, "Those are the coolest uniforms in sports." But there's a movie that Wes, formerly of the Boxers podcast, Wes the Wheelman, mentioned to one of us, and I wound up watching it. I took my first sick day in like 8 years on Monday. Like I just wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
So I watched this movie. It's called Coming Home in the Dark. It's a New Zealand movie. It's a movie from New Zealand. And it has like, remember the movie Sleepers that we really liked? It's got Sleepers vibes to it. It's quick. I would check it out. It's pretty raw. Again? Coming Home in the Dark. It's on Netflix.
Home.
It's really, really good.
All right, I'm gonna watch that maybe tonight. Coming Home
in the Dark.
All right, it's on Netflix. All right, I'll check that out for sure.
Definitely check it out. Let me know what you think.
I will. Let's see. Next week, Ryan, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Big one. I can't wait.
Episode. I cannot wait as well. I'm so fired up for that. So you guys, if you see it early, please don't spoil it. If you
don't even tell me if you liked it. I don't even want to know.
Don't want to know. But after Saturday, feel free to email us, dorkpodcast@gmail.com, or tweet us, or throw us a DM on the Instagram @dorkpodcast, and let us know how you feel. And we'll do that episode Monday night as we normally do. Let's see what else. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Apple Podcasts, the whole nine, the whole kit and caboodle. Thanks for listening to this episode. And Ryan, you don't seem to give a shit about anything, do you?
What'd you say?
So you don't give a shit, do you?
Not really.